In the heart of Kenya's expansive Tsavo National Park, under the scorching sun and a sky that stretched endlessly, a young elephant calf wandered alone. His name was Kito, and he was just a few months old, still learning the ways of the wild. But the rhythms of his life had been shattered. Kito's family, a majestic herd of elephants, had been caught in a fierce poaching incident, a tragedy that stole his mother and siblings away. Alone, Kito's tiny body, still fragile and vulnerable, struggled to find food and water. His bright eyes, once full of life, began to dull as he grew weaker. The sounds of the savannah were foreign to him now. The calls of his fellow elephants were no longer there to guide him. His survival instincts were intact, but the absence of his family weighed heavily on his small shoulders. For days, he wandered aimlessly, searching for comfort in a world that felt larger and more menacing with each passing hour. But fate had not forgotten him. One evening, as the sun dipped low, casting a golden glow over the savannah, a team of rangers from the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, a group dedicated to the rescue and rehabilitation of orphaned elephants, received a distress call. They had tracked the calf's desperate calls through the radio collar on a nearby ranger's equipment. The rangers, equipped with their knowledge and compassion, set off into the bush, determined to save this innocent life. The team, led by a seasoned wildlife expert named Jamal, knew they had little time. The poachers who had left Kito orphaned were still lurking in the area, and the dangers of the wild could claim the calf's life at any moment. With their trucks loaded with emergency supplies, the team raced across the rugged terrain, adrenaline coursing through their veins. As they reached the location indicated by the rangers, they spotted Kito from a distance. The little calf stood beneath a sparse acacia tree, his legs trembling and his belly drawn tight from hunger. He had heard the sounds of the approaching vehicles, and despite his exhaustion, his ears twitched in fear. "He's scared," Jamal whispered. "But he's still alive." The team disembarked swiftly, and two of the rangers, armed with calming techniques, moved toward the calf, speaking softly in an effort to soothe him. They had done this countless times before, but each rescue was different. Each elephant had its own story, its own heartbreak. Kito flinched at first, his survival instincts telling him to run, but the soothing voices of the rangers slowly began to break down his walls. With a series of gentle steps, the team approached closer, showing the warmth of their care and understanding. Jamal knelt down, offering a bottle of milk mixed with nutrients to restore Kito's strength. After a moment of hesitation, Kito's trembling lips touched the bottle. The milk, rich and warm, was a lifeline. Slowly but surely, the calf began to regain his strength, his once dull eyes starting to brighten. The first step toward recovery had been taken. The team gently lifted Kito into a specialized rescue vehicle, ensuring he was comfortable and safe as they made their way back to the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust's Rehabilitation Center in Nairobi. During the journey, Jamal sat by the calf, his voice steady, reassuring Kito that he was no longer alone. When they arrived at the sanctuary, the staff immediately got to work, ensuring that Kito received proper medical attention and a comfortable environment. Over time, the sanctuary became a haven, not only for Kito but for many other orphaned elephants, each with their own heart-wrenching tale of loss. But with care, compassion, and dedication, these elephants would find a second chance at life. Weeks turned into months, and Kito began to grow stronger. He formed bonds with other orphaned elephants, all of them learning to trust again in the presence of one another. The Sheldrick Wildlife Trust team worked tirelessly, providing them with everything they needed, from nutritious food to the guidance of surrogate elephant mothers, who helped nurture the young calves. Kito's journey was not without its challenges, but the trust and love he found in his new family at the sanctuary began to heal the wounds of his past. His playful antics, once a memory of a lost youth, returned with a vengeance. He learned to interact with his fellow orphans, sharing moments of joy that had once seemed impossible. Years later, Kito would be ready to return to the wild, a wild that had taken so much from him, but one that had also given him a second chance. With the guidance of the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust's skilled team, Kito would be reintroduced into the wild, where he could once again roam free. He would never forget the people who saved him, but he would also forge his own path, a path guided by the wisdom of the elephants who had shown him the way. And as Kito disappeared into the vast savanna, the rangers, knowing that their work was far from over, looked on with pride. The Sheldrick Wildlife Trust's mission was clear: to protect, rescue, and restore the lives of elephants, one story at a time. The call of the wild would always be there, but for Kito, it would never be as lonely again. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel for more.